Guys, this website flipping project is on, and I've been going through the whole weekend, and this is amazing. What you want to do in the organic section is create websites that show up for general purpose things in whatever industry, and then as the people land there, you've got your ads in there, but you have a constant flow of people who are looking right next to your ads anyway. And so the ones who would be interested, it doesn't matter if it's only 1 in 1,000, they're going to click it. Right? So if you show up organically for a ton of things and you put your ads somewhere, then you can make it incredibly cheap. And so that is what people want to buy. They want to buy websites that guys like us set up to do that. You know, we don't know what they want to sell, but they do. They know how to do it. They want to grab these sites, snatch them up in anything we set up for them. So let me come back to this example real fast. I'm going to show you something. This web page is getting about 15,000 views a month. If I click on the web page itself and take a look, I went through and figured out the organization of the page, what it takes to do it. And one of the most important components of the page is exactly this content box, okay? So everything that's on the page that relates to the topic is in this box. It's very organized. It's very easy to navigate to the section you want, which is down the page somewhere. From here, like if I click on this, I'm going to go most of the way down the page, right? Like in the facts. Now, then they just go through the topic very smartly, very simply, and I found that this is really, really easy to automate in our system. So I just want to show you what's going on. By the way, that's an ad. I mean, some of these are images. By the way, we can pull images in automatically, so we're gonna build that up over the coming week. So that as we create all these pages, we can automatically insert images that match the topics. Okay, I want to show you something. I went through and I just did a topic on Energizer Bunny. I was trying to also find something very, very basic. And I wanted to make sure, and don't worry about this, I mean, no one's going to see a menu like this. It's just me doing a bunch of Energizer Bunny variation pages to make sure how cleanly they were all coming out automatically. And you know what I found? They were coming out completely clean. They were very different. The approach is different. The stuff they like to talk about is different. The facts are different. Everything about this is really, really cool. It's got references and stuff for further reading. We can auto-create links for these things. We can put the images in different places automatically on the page. And I just let this thing run. I said, show me another page like it. You know, I went to this other page. And again, totally different page aimed at the same concept. Okay, different references for reading, different conclusion, different facts, different everything, different case study concepts, all of it. I over and over again. It's like that is exactly what they did. The Oxbow Tavern guys made a stack of keywords into a list. They created that stack of keywords and they said, generate this for Oxbow Tavern, that one for Silver Lake City Brewing, that one for the other side, that one for the other side, this one for the other side, that one for the other side. Just generate the same topics on the new websites all the time. Okay? We can do things like that. Just wash, rinse, repeat over and over again. Pound the new websites to the top and sell them off. Let them do their thing. And as that information starts to get old, if those guys don't keep it up, and it starts to slacken, if they don't keep it up, what are we doing anyway? Adding new websites in. So we can keep that flow going. Now, better than keep the flow going, I don't want anyone to throw away the pages that existed already. So whether I make it clear now, when the buyer buys, if we're tracking their websites and they're keeping the pages up, which they probably will, and they don't want the pages to die off, but we see in Spy Food that they're starting to decline, we can make that go back up again remotely. We can do something onto those websites from a distance that just helps those websites climb back up. Now, we can do it directly by working with them if that should happen, or indirectly. I don't care. It's early. We'll figure it out. My point is, for all the sites that are staying up, the backlinks. So everyone who's getting one of these projects, give me up to 5 things that you want to backlink to permanently. You are dead serious about them. You married those things. You want them to rank, and it's not just something you found 5 minutes ago. It's something you're considering for real. And if you don't have that, don't worry about rushing that to me, because it doesn't matter. We can create the backlinks for later. Here's the point. For whatever project page you're getting that we're going to build up, that's going to get all this freaking traffic, that's going to rise, that we're going to sell, okay? It's got the backlinks to you in it, okay? Your things that you're really trying to anchor down and make incredible, right? So pick wisely. Now, for every next guy that buys a project, they're going to be backlinking to you. So all of your links get stronger with every next purchase that comes after your purchase. In the meantime, everyone who purchases gets the right to link out to 5 things that they want, okay? So you've got your website that links out to your 5 things, the next website that links out to 5 other things, but also links to you. How do you want me to show that? And we keep going. Picture the hands going back and forth all the way down. What do I know? So this can go on ad perpetuum. This can go on theoretically forever, that we just keep doing it. But we do it with expired domains and we build them up so we're never in the sandbox. So they start ranking fast because they were never in the sandbox. What's the sandbox? I actually watched a video where a guy who's an expert at this kind of showed this. He said, look, I'm going to do the same project on this domain I bought that was expired for a couple of $100. And I'm going to do this other project on a brand new domain name that I came up, but they're going to be identical. And you know what happened? Like this, just like this, right? So the one on the expired domain or auction domain, whatever it was he got with good stats, was shooting up, while the other one sat pretty flat. He said this one will shoot up within a month. The other one's in the sandbox for almost a year before it begins to climb, because that's how Google treats brand new domains. They give them very little room for the first year. The competition's gotten to that point. We used to talk about every 3 months. It's stronger now, or it has been, but Google will rank independent pages now. It's just that if you're getting them on brand new domains, you're not giving a signal whether the domain is important or not. But domains that keep getting bought over time show their worth to Google. It means that people keep them up and they have links. That makes them more important. And so they rise faster when they do important things. They've been in the game longer. People are interested in them more, even if it's somebody new buying it. Okay, here we go. So this is huge. Being able to just auto-generate pages that are structured like this, and they have facts and conclusions and reviews and key takeaways and case studies and different things like that. And it's structured and written well. I'm going to continue to finish filling this out to make it even better. I know how. At the same time that that's going on, let me show you the other thing. Okay, different website, nothing happening up here. It's just a place where we were working. All right, so I just set something up. And guess what? We've got our table of contents here, right? This is exactly the H2s and the H3s going down the page. It just happened to be H2s at this point that we, at least that we put into the system. But literally, that's it. Whoops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When it goes in that order, even comes down to seeking feedback, residential, commercial, automotive, emergency. If I'm going down, that's what I'm seeing. Okay, evaluating, familiarity, sending feedback. By the way, don't worry about not being able to read the words on this. We'll use real images, not auto-generated images. But residential locksmith, commercial locksmith, all this stuff is here. And then these are the H3s that should also show up indented in that table of contents, right? Just like the facts. That'll be done real soon. And so we can make these incredible pages, right? And we can do this build with the contents. And the final thing really is just creating schema code in the back end along with Google Tag Manager code, so that as we generate the pages, Google wants to start showing us in featured snippets, okay? So that's cool. That allows us to do everything we need with the pages. We can auto import images like these, but correctly, and they'll wrap into the content. The guy just did this real quick so he could test this box, that's all. And so it's going to be properly filled out, images and stuff, and then we can do the AdSense plugin and make it look amazing so that Google wants to rank it. That's another thing, it seems, that if you put the AdSense coding in, Google's probably wanting to rank you harder and faster because you're doing Google a favor, right? If you're putting the AdSense in for all these cool pages that you're producing fresh, Google wants to rank you up because it's good for them, okay? So they're taking care of two markets. They're taking care of the AdWords advertisers and also taking care of whoever's creating the latest, greatest good content. You know, in other words, say somebody last month created how many ounces in a cup, and they created that page a month ago. They haven't touched it since. It's a really good page though. Say I create a page now just like it, basically. I mean, not plagiarized, but not better. It's got only as many points. It's got only as much quality, okay? But it's brand new. What happens is if this guy hasn't touched his page in a month, his page will start to slide while mine rises over the top of him, because you cannot set and forget a website, right? So if he doesn't do anything with this, Google doesn't know if he's still there, but Google wants to reward me for creating new quality content that's written differently. So even if they're of equal value, one of the elements in the algorithm is freshness of content. The world could have changed. Maybe my doing the ounces in a cup today is somehow different. It's like best practices for SEO. Somebody writing that page 5 years ago versus someone writing that page today. Not the same thing. Even if both have 50 points, the points will have changed. Many of them. Okay, having said all that, this combined with this, because that's what we're doing, we're going to combine. As a matter of fact, this thing right now, with our remote control, we can actually run all the way out on our remote control and create those table of contents boxes into everything that we've produced. So as soon as we're done with the coding and these are clickable down to the sections, right now it's not. That hasn't been finished yet, but it will be soon. Then we're going to go ahead and be able to update these things down through like that. How's that for nuts? Okay, let me do you another one. Expired domains. I want to show you how easy this concept is, okay? Say I go for landscaping, you know, and I'm just looking for a couple. You know what I didn't know? How many domains expire every day in America? I had no idea how big this was, okay? This whole world of action, I didn't know it was this big. How many domains expire on average every day in America that we can go and look at just like this? Like I'm looking at domains that are either expiring or being auctioned off right now, what the prices are, how much longer before the auction expires, you know, the data was added. I can see all this stuff, okay? And so can you. I mean, the stuff is out there. Where would you go to get to the auctions in the case of the auctions? What's the trust flow, the citation flow? How many backlinks from roots? How many backlinks from subdomains? What is the basic category that the domain has been in for all this time? What is the main language of the website? It's not always English. All this stuff is right here. So what do I want to say? I want to say this. When we look at the scores and make sure we like things, check it out, man. The domain age is 15 years old, right? It's got one park page now. Topics business, 3 redirects over the course of 15 years. That's not a problem. Spam message is clean. It's a pretty good one. Only thing I don't like about it is on Namecheap. I'm going to have to learn. First, I'm going to have to sign up for Namecheap to buy it there. Then I'm going to have to learn how to transfer it over to GoDaddy. None of that is particularly difficult, but it would give me WigginsLandscaping.com. Now, I want to know a few things about it real quick, and that would be stuff like this. Does it even have a page indexed on Google anymore? And it does. It's got 2, okay? 2 pages indexed on Google. I don't know if they're live. Nope, it's this. They're parked. But yeah, 2 pages. So it was live up until not terribly long ago. Now, here's another one. Free backlink checker. I'm talking about a 15-year-old domain with a domain rating of 4.4, which is actually not terrible. It's better than the Oxbow Tavern, believe it or not. And it's got about the same number of linking websites as it has backlinks. Over 1,000. Now, it's all 100% do follow, basically. 98% do follow. So we would have to create a bunch of no follow backlinks for it using our websites in order to even those out. Okay, but that's not a problem. I mean, we know how to do that. And check it out. I mean, I don't know what this is, but okay, I don't know what that is. That's DMOZ. It's not wrong that they're in there. Let me see. Looking for a quality landscaping company in Weston. Okay. And that's in treeservicedaily.com or .news, right? And then what? Not even all that long ago, about a year ago. So there it is. Then what? Again, something like that here, something like that here. But look at that. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Some of these things do have domain rating. Some have 0, some have much. It's all over the board, sort of. And so that's very normal. Google will just give whatever credit it feels like giving in each case. But how's that for nuts? So the reality check is I should buy it. Okay, just so you understand, probably I should buy it. The auction's still on, so we'll see how long it takes and how much it's going to cost in the end. Right now it's 18 hours before it's over, so the bids will start whenever they start. It's saying you're registered 2022 1-year-old, but that's not true, so I don't know how that happened. That's not right. Maybe it's you're registered at Namecheap, like when it got switched to Namecheap. There are about 19 searches a month right now for Wiggins landscaping. Right now. There are only 2 extensions taken that use it. So it's like .com and .net or .info. Not a problem. Not weird. Domain rating. Low, but it would be. It's still positive. It's 4. You know, DR is 4. And name length is not a problem. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's no weird dashes, and it's not just a bunch of keyword words or something. This is honestly a really good idea. This is exactly one of those domains you would buy that's like Oxbow Tavern. And then you would start producing landscaping stuff onto it. How do we figure out landscaping stuff worthy of putting on? What's anything? How do you grow a red tomato, a more red tomato or something like that, right? If I were to come in here and just look up landscaping terms, gardening terms, right? Home and garden kind of things, right? Look at that. Just landscaping alone is 44,800, okay? But look at that, view all. I mean, there's so many keywords. So if we start creating quality pages that are organized the same way I've been seeing on Oxbow Tavern and the others, because we can rebuild in that image, then the reality check is, okay, I'm going to exclude the near me's. I want to go chase down lists. Near me. And I'd say search volume of at least 5, keyword difficulty of, let's just start with 25 anyway. And just see what that means. Over 2 million searches a month. And it's for stuff like Lahua landscape. I don't know what that is, but do you know who does? Google. Do you know who else? GPT. So can we automatically create a bunch of pages about Lua landscape, just like the Energizer Bunny pages I showed you? Yeah, and we can pull in the images that fit nicely, and we can create the table of contents at the top. So if I had a bunch of those expired domains or auction domains, right, for landscaping, and I was rolling through them, then I would grab a lot of these, you know, I'll go through and figure out the list to create like 200 great pages or 400 great pages, just depends on what makes sense when I go through the list. What's that going to give us? Websites we get to roll right on top of each other. Whap, whap, whap. And we can mix and match the keyword combinations, add more as we go. And I don't know what to tell you other than this is what you're getting. Okay? So everyone who's getting one of these sites, we buy in, build it up, give it a couple of months. It's not in the sandbox. It won't take a year. It'll take a couple of months. Okay? Brand new websites take 2 years to get to full traffic level. The end of 2 years before they're as high as they can get, apples to apples, assuming that they reached a level and they're just doing scheduled maintenance. But when you get expired or auction domains and you do them the way we've been watching them being done here, then about a month goes into the work and then just start watching it rise, just like that. Okay? So then we turn around and sell them off. By the way, is there any real risk? Not really. When you put something in the auction, it takes about 5 days. It's a 5-day auction. Either it sells or it doesn't. You can put a minimum bid on there to make sure that if it does go to sell, it's at least for something we're willing to accept. So we don't have to worry about losing it for less. There's no losing it for less concept. unless we go the whole year and no one bought it. Okay, and we did not renew it, but why would that be? I don't know. I'll tell you why we would never do that. Also is this, renewing it is just typical renewal rate. Like $8.50 if you're on the domain buyer club like I am. It's like $8, or well, with the tax, it's like $9.25 to renew it, okay? In the meantime, what do you think we're doing while we're waiting to see if it sells at the price we want? We're adding value to it. And if we add so much value to it that we're starting to think, I don't want to sell for that little anymore, right? What do? We take the auction down before somebody bids on it, put it back up at a higher dollar amount. Besides, when you get your websites worthy of a higher dollar amount, the real players who know what they're looking for are there. They're not trying to buy a bunch of these on the way up websites. They're trying to buy some of these that really got up here, and they're trying to move larger chunks of money through them. We want that, right? So we are happy to continue adding value to the websites as we climb, okay? So we can always set a willing to get out price along the way, but that's just because if it's shorter, it may not be as much, but you can keep cranking it over. You can do the money multiplier effect through that. I just want to make a point of how insane that is, right? Say you get your money and say, I don't care, every 3 months, you can multiply by 5. So in 3 months, you got 5 times your money. 3 more months, you're up to 25 times the money, right? And then 3 more months, you know, you're up to 125. 3 more months, you're up to 375 times the money. I think we just did a year, didn't we? 5 quarters, right? 5, 25, 125, whatever it is. 125 times 5, 625, right? Wow. This is where we need to be, guys. Everybody wants to buy websites that have a lot of organic traffic so they can put their ads up there. Okay, so I'm just saying, first guys who are buying it, guys are buying it now. From the time I put this thing out, guys started lining up. Those who are like dropping the payments, they're getting into the line. And that is how we're going to produce these websites. If I were to get this WigginsLandscaping.com, after all, it's going to one of those guys. And then what are we going to do? Full-scale landscaping stuff. You know what that means also? I'm sure I can find a bunch of other landscaping domains worthy of attention so I can roll them through one after the next. In the meantime, we could do this for other things. I looked up airsoft. It's over $1 million a month. I looked up paintball. It's over $2 million a month. Visitors. You can look up any of this stuff, okay? And yes, you can always get backlinks out to your main things. We can create some pages on every one of these sites that will justify which are pointing at your things, whatever they are, right? But we're going after these big things for sale, and you can still link out to whatever you want because it'll count anyway. But we'll create good pages for your thing on there. We'll have some excuse. All right? And so everyone who's getting in, that's a lot of money on that rollover split. I frankly think that if we're doing it by industry instead of just generically, instead of selling it for 10 times over in 3 months, it'll go for more like 25 times over because it's less jarring to see ads that deal with the topic. If you're interested in landscaping stuff and you see an ad for one of those hoses that collapses down and rolls up nicely, that fits. The content that you're reading about means you're in market and the ads fit, right? So much more money to make in that because when anyone sees that thing up for sale and sees that it's specific to their industry, restaurants, taverns, landscaping, airsoft, paintball, so many others we haven't even gotten to yet. Then there's stuff like dreamscapes. I mean, there's like whole video game venues that we could go down if we really wanted. I don't know enough about it to reach out for that first, but I'm telling you that these things exist. Look up the keywords and let GPT do the writing, you know? And so we can write for any of these industries and put this stuff up for sale. It's absolutely insane how much money is involved here and how easy it is to maintain and add to the websites, okay? So this is it, guys. Get in quick, and whoever comes in after you is backlinking you. Whoever comes in after them backlinks them. who are backlinking you. Whoever comes in after them backlinks them, who backlink them, who backlink you. Everybody gets a right to their 5. So this just because you're neither going to be at the top nor the bottom. You're going to be in the middle somewhere. But as this keeps on growing, it benefits whoever comes next. Get your friends in on something like this. A website flip, as soon as you feel comfortable, invite others. They can go ahead of you or right behind you or with you in a group. You can just work it as a group. And I had somebody ask me, what if I want to get 5 of these, for example, instead of just 1? Perfect. Say you do. Then that means the next guy who buys in, whether he gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, doesn't matter. We're going to create links up through your sites. Next guys who get in will create links up to their sites, which are linking to your sites. So you get a bunch of sites getting constant increasing value. If I find at some point that this is too straight, like somebody got in real big and somebody got in real thin underneath that, I will take care of that. I will create some links that move down through some of the other guys up to you as well, just to anchor you in with bypasses along with the straight connection to make sure to keep the evenness sensible. That doesn't hurt anyone down here, and it sure helps you. So take advantage of it to the biggest degree you want, but I'm telling you, this is what we should do. Final wrap up. One of my friends, as you know, is a guy named Jason Hayes. He was just doing the Boston Pops. He led them. You can look this up in Boston. And so he was a guest conductor. Okay. And so he just got out there at the time of this video a couple of days ago. So for the weekend. And he saw my oldest boy while he was there because we're friends. And this is a guy who creates music for big video games like World of Warcraft. He invents the music that plays in the background. And so that's what he does for a living. He makes music for big video games, and he's also a conductor and everything else. So anyway, we walked through Riot Games when we were in LA with them once. We had to get badges. They had guys, almost security guys with guns kind of thing. We walked through. There were certain, we weren't allowed to take pictures. They fed us well, let us drink incredible coffee stuff. They had coffee I've never heard of before. It's very expensive. Their chefs hand make the food you ask for, like 5 meals a day, or kind of spread out. So anyone coming and going, they dry clean your clothes for you. They give you a back massage. All of it's free. Walk up to any vending machine, hit anything, take it, and walk off and drink it or eat it, and it's free. They got literally booze tables next to where they work in a collected group. You can have Bailey's Irish Cream in your coffee. You can have a Bloody Mary, as long as you can handle your alcohol while you work, because when you're a coder, the coding can drive you a little nuts. You can get hypnotized by it. So if you loosen up a bit, then you can really get into the character that you're creating or the tool that you're creating or whatever it is. Anyway, I asked them, I said, man, this is like multi-billion-dollar company. These are companies that take in like $1 billion a month. And I'm thinking, how in the world do you make that kind of money? I said, so you're selling the games? And the guy goes, oh no, we don't sell the games. And it's like, what do? You mean you let everyone access the games for free? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, why? And how do you make your money? He goes, oh, well, people kind of fall in love with some of the characters, and so they want to buy a character. So it's like they want to buy a skin. They want to buy a hat to go with the skin, a cloak to go with the skin, certain kind of a sword, certain kind of a shield, whatever it is, for the character, certain boots and stuff. And so that's what we sell for a little bit of money here and there. And I'm like, really? And so it takes a long time to internalize the idea that the market, you just want a ton of people flowing around you constantly for free so that you can advertise something that they might want to see. And guess what? You have an endless stream of people near your ads. That's what we're building, guys. Get a hold of me if you want in. I'll send you a money request. Let me know if you want it through PayPal, if you want it through Stripe for a regular credit card payment. Let's get you in line, because I'm producing these things. I'm literally working out the final coding in real time, and we're producing these. We're buying domains, getting them set up, and rolling them out. This is the future right now. And do it. Who knows how long before GPT-5 becomes a real thing. So make all your money now while you can, because no one really knows what's going on except for us and a few other guys who've been secretly doing this in the background.